Okay, Aina, if you had to choose between regional, national or European passport, which would you choose and why?
I don't see a big difference in those passports, so it doesn't matter for me which one to choose. But if there are three passports, I would choose the one which would give me more. And I think the European one would give me more opportunities.
Well, basically, I think that currently I would choose a more Latvian passport because it's connected with my education. Basically, my state is paying for me, and I believe that after a few years, when I will decide about international career, then I will feel more for international passports, such as European Union.
I think that I would choose both. First of all, I would choose a national one, as the ideas I had that they're going to invent IDs now. That would be very good for traveling around Baltics, for example, or just for our government establishments within the country. And the second one, I would have definitely European passport, as would be very handy for traveling abroad, just to have one document which would be recognized in Europe.
I guess I would like to have the European one. The higher is the level of your passport, the more possibilities I have, I guess.
I would choose the European passport because it gives you more opportunities. I mean, you can feel that you are part of European Union.
I think I will choose the European passport because the first priority for me is movement, because education. Well, education is my first priority, and that's why freedom of movement is the biggest priority of me.
Mm-hmm.
I would choose European because I feel just like European citizen.
I think that I would rather choose European passport because in case if I due to work or education reasoning I would have to travel around the world, I think that European passport would benefit me more.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. European Union is in trouble. What are the ways how to deal with it?
Oh yeah, that's a tough topic because I actually involved in the financial sphere and I read a lot about it. Really hard to say because this part of this trouble was the lack of regulation. So I definitely think that there should be more regulation nowadays. The question is from which side it should come. There are pros and cons. It's quite difficult to say them in a couple of sentences, but I would definitely go for a combination of national actions on the national level and some actions, directives on the European level.
Principā uzskatu, ka visu varu Latvijas mērogā jānodot Latvijas vadībai un attiecīgi, lai viņi tad savas valsts ietvaros arī komunicējot ar Eiropas Savienības valstīm arī tad principā risina jautājumus valsts mērogā, savas valsts mērogā.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be pretty much substantial changes into the political environment into Europe, into the power distribution inside Europe. That now most of the biggest countries have the power and like the control of economic and financial resources. So I think it's gonna change, and I think that even small countries are gonna have their vote and gonna somehow, have an ability to influence the political decisions of the Europe. And maybe in most cases it's gonna solve the problems that we have now, because now it's like it's like that couple countries were deciding the future of all the Europe, and now everybody going to be involved in it, obviously, after such kind of problems as we are facing right now.
Mm-hmm. I'll give opportunities to European government because I don't believe in national parliament, and I think they have more experience in this way because Latvia not so much in European Union.
Of course there is solution, but actually I think that we should totally change the world now, because youth is very talented now and we should find new options for everything, and such unions as the European unions are in the past. now. We should develop and depend on you maybe communities and such things, which depends on youth. Such. European Union, of course, it will still exist, but I think in several years still it won't have so many power.
It's actually very hard to answer this question because it's like more like global problem like this. Because if now if one country crashes and all the European Union, all the EU can crash, this is quite very. This is not the way that the European Union should work. Because now we know all these problems with Greece, and they are telling that if European Union banks are not going to give new loans to them, and then they'll just exit from all this EU, and then that will actually crash the European Union.
Really, I'm not so strong in politics, but I think that we should give the power to the maybe to the national government, to these countries, because they know more about the situation, especially in one particular country, not in the whole Europe. And if it will be no problem in one country, for example in Poland or in Latvia, and the whole situation will be better. But
I probably would choose to give more financial regulation power to national governments, but I also would encourage countries to maybe invite some overseeing committees from European institutions, like we had I think some members from European Council, as well as from International Monetary Fund. Several countries that cannot fulfill criteria that was set for joining Euro, like Greece or Spain, and now the rest of the European Union is paying for mistakes of those countries.
So which passport would you choose if you had an opportunity? Regional, national, or European?
I would choose national one, because by choosing this one I know that there are other people like me that are the same nationality like me. If I would choose only like European, then I'm like one piece of, I don't know, millions of people that doesn't have any nationality. I would like to have something common with others.
Why? Okay, so only 3 options, yes? I guess I would have chosen international passport, but as it is not offered in this survey, then I would definitely vote for European. Because I think nowadays world becomes more and more globalized, and that's why the national boundaries are not so visible. So I actually don't feel like I belong to my region or my nation. I more like feel like international citizen. So definitely European passport.
Es izvēlētos nacionālo.
Un kāpēc?
Tāpēc, ka esmu piederīgs Latvijas valstī un principā visu mūžu šeit nodzīvojis, un kā patriots uzskatu, ka tomēr sava valsts ir sava valsts un valstī piederoša.
Original.
No, I would like still it to be original. It was like in my case Latvian, and like I think we must integrate into Europe, but we still need to keep our identity and our uniqueness, and that's why it might be like the solution might be 2 documents of the same kind, but one going to prove that you're Latvian and another one going to show you as your European citizen.
I would like to choose European passport because I think I'll have more opportunities to go to Europe and to live in Europe, to work in Europe, to get an education, and I think it gives me more opportunities in the world.
I still would choose European passport because I think that we should involve more in our European life, because I think that Latvia doesn't offer so many opportunities now, and I should find this opportunity abroad as well, not only in Latvia, or at least develop myself.
I would choose, at the moment, I would choose the European passport because Latvian passport is actually no opportunities at the moment. Latvia is too much. Latvia depends too much from the other countries in political, maybe not in political, but very much economical ways. So at the moment, I would choose European passport.
I would choose probably European because I see myself as a more of a cosmopolitan. I'm fed up with everything that is happening here. I would like to travel to some, I don't know, probably some English-speaking country in Europe and work there and maybe.
How can we promote, foster the dialogue between citizens and European decision makers? What role should citizens play in building a new Europe?
That sounds nice, but it's not possible. You see, if there's a question here, somebody has to read the results. And the amount of effort to read the results and to understand the results, I think is equal to the total effort to answer the question here. So I guess that's not possible. I don't think that this could influence some really important questions. Okay? An ordinary citizen can have opinion about some everyday questions. For example, does he want to, I don't know, to have fish in the shop or not to have fish in the shop. He knows that, but he doesn't know if his state has to take a credit or doesn't have to take a credit.
I think that all this should exist simultaneously because all these decisions, they do not contradict each other. Yeah, first of all, if there are any questionnaires, they should be just done as an obligatory procedure. Internet platform, it should be it's very useful because it's open to all our minds to the public. Yeah, so everybody would aware that everything which is done is done right, is going right direction, and is open for discussions and just the dialogue. So that's the transparency.
It's impossible to promote it. It just depends on the citizens. If they want to work together with the states, for example, they will. But if they don't, you can't promote anything.
We are living in the age of technologies, and I think that's the way how to promote interaction between citizens and European decision makers.
We need to do all the ways of this connection because the feedback of local authorities, of population, and so on is so important. That's why I think that all these ways are important.
The European Union is in trouble. What do you
really? Are they? Well,
yes.
I think they're not. They live and prosper. I can go to Austria to have some ski weekend. I don't think it's a trouble.
But economical crisis.
I can allow this. I can afford it. I have enough money. I've earned some money and can go there. I don't feel the crisis. Why do you think is there a crisis?
Because Italian economy, Portuguese, Spanish economies are in big trouble.
I have a job and they pay me money. I don't feel the trouble.
Okay, no trouble then.
I think no trouble. There's no war. There are no bombs. There is petrol at the gas stations. There is bread in the shop. There is milk. There is wine. I can go to cafe with my friends. I don't think that there is a trouble. But well, if there were trouble, I have some land where I can study potatoes and feel good also. Yeah, I don't think there's a trouble.
Of course, I think that there should be one government establishment which would govern the situation. But I think that people altogether should have some control in the instrument. They would be able to change the situation. Yeah, there should be some or referendums or voting or some representatives exactly which would come from people time after time. So some system from exactly people which would regulate the situation.
To be honest, there are a lot of information about crisis in the media, but as I am a very positive person, I believe that European leaders would find a solution, and it doesn't bother me so much.
I don't think that it's too late already. My opinion is that there should be like tighter and more strict criteria in the European level, which national governments should implement. So there should be, yes, there should be cooperation between European and national levels.
I think we should give more power to European level powers like Euro Commission and also European Union Council, because especially in economic issues, because I think in this kind of issues we don't need to consensus principle. We have to strong authority.
I think that Europe will fall apart.
Well, basically, I think that each government should take steps to do something for nations for their nation themselves, because I strongly believe that it is not correct to rely on somebody who is higher than you, such as European commissioners. So I think that government should take some reasonable steps themselves.
Well, I believe that this idea of Germany that we have to build new monetary policy to like save the money. Like I would believe that Germany will find the right solution, and I would follow that one.
What should be done to foster dialogue between European citizens and European government?
I would say that actually people should be active themselves. So probably maybe European Union should make some, I don't know, some funding on people to make open societies, just to make people be active on themselves.
Actually, I don't know.
Maybe if we want to make kind of society more interested in European things, I think we should like make kind of European television where we can like watch what's happening in France, what's happening there, but like kind of one common radio station, something like that.
First of all, I should say that in Latvia, where we now, the communication between the representatives in the parliament and citizens is very low. I haven't heard of any such communication in the news or from my friends, so it should definitely be fostered. And I think the first responsibility for this is representatives themselves. So they should be proactive and they should come to people, and they should, perhaps they should have, each should have a blog or Twitter account where each of the citizens can ask something or discuss. That would be great, I think. Of course, maybe too time consuming. And personal meetings are also good, but again, I think if we have internet communication, why waste time? It could easily be done via internet, and that could be efficient in that way. So my answer is the initiative should come from representatives, and it should be over internet, via Facebook, Twitter, whatever you have.
Principā šobrīd ir diezgan apgrūtinoša situācija starp valsts iedzīvotājiem un attiecīgi valsts vadību, jo ņemot vērā krīzes apstākļus un dažādus citus aspektus, tāpēc iedzīvotājiem nav lielas uzticības, nu tā teikt, pārliecības par to, ko valsts vadība dara, taču jebkurā gadījumā es paredzu, ka ir nepieciešams rast kaut kādu dialogu starp iedzīvotājiem un valdību, lai atrisinātu kaut kādus globālus valstiska mēroga jautājumus. Tad iespējams diskusiju veidā kaut kādu organizēt reģionālās, varbūt tikšanās novadiem un tam līdzīgi. tieši iedzīvotājiem un valdības.
I think the first step should be that the European that the citizen of every European state and needs to feel the consequences of being inside the Europe. It needs to feel that he's into Europe. He needs to be integrated into Europe. Like obviously the first step is like kind of like when we have all these flags of European Union, but the second step gonna be like when we're gonna see that come on, like this road was done by European Union, this was done by European Union, this help us European Union, and not only help but from European but also like if every citizen could something give to the European Union, if somehow I don't know like what it should be, but somehow European Union, European political decision makers should give an opportunity for normal people like to bring the decision. Maybe there should be some more forums, some more economic discussions, some more debates about all the financial situation, because again we just like feel the consequence of everything that is done. We hear in the news that come on, they sat down, they decided on this, on it, but we really it's not like whoa, come on, it was my idea, I thought about it as well. It's just like we are spectating, but we need to be acting as well.
I think it would be better to have an internet communication between the politicians and between citizens of Latvia, because it's much more easier now for people to use this way, because you can sit at home and use it when you want, but just twice per year I think it's not enough.
Well, actually there are many options. I think all of them are now like realized in life. One is of course internet and such social things like internet, maybe some forums or some chats with parliament, some lectures and conferences where the leaders of youth or some communities can talk to the parliament or to such people and express themselves and tell about everything about our lives.
Revolutions, because everything that the politicians will tell all the citizens in all the countries except maybe the small countries will be plus or minus lies, and it's quite actually hard to say when they're telling the truth, because we have our very hard experience here in Latvia, because all we know that politics say one thing and actually do the other things, but we have no idea how it works in European Union. Maybe that doesn't work like it in European Union, but as much from our national experience it works like this, and we have lost faith maybe in politicians. So only thing that I see is revolutions.
Yeah, the politicians should be more open to the people, to the civilians, and for example, I think that they should communicate through the internet sources like Facebook and all other chats, and should communicate more with the people who vote for them.
What should be done?
How could I become interested? Only if all of Europe was unified under one currency, under one language, one army, one government, maybe only then. But until then, and I think it's a very, very far future prospect, until then, I think people will basically be more interested in their national politics.
Andrei, if you had an opportunity to choose between European, national or regional passports, which would you choose and why?
Of course, I would choose European passport, because with this European passport I can travel whenever I like in the whole Europe, from Latvia till Canary Island, and it is not a problem.
The European Union is in trouble. What do you think should be done to get out of the current crisis?
I think that you should keep the things which work well, you should keep them. But those things which don't work, you should get rid of them as soon as possible, because it's impossible to keep together the stuff which doesn't work, which falls apart anyway. So it will fall apart sooner or later anyway.
how can we promote dialogue between citizens and European decision makers?
I think that consultations probably is a good idea because there are not so many places, at least I as a student don't really know where can I go to get more information about European Union. So if there would be such an opportunity to get these consultations, I would really appreciate it. And then you can, in this case, and in this way you can establish this let's say link between European decision makers and citizens.